Hello, you two.
Hey.
Anyway, let's get into this. This is the second game in the best of three for the Join Dota League playoffs. We're still in the upper bracket, so whoever loses here, if you lose in the best of three, you still have another chance. But you don't want to fight that road. I feel like the Americas qualifiers are really rough. Either way, I'm Llama Down Under. I'm joined by somebody new. We've got Noble Wings. We haven't casted together. Everybody knows how your first time is sometimes messy, so if this is a shit show, you can't blame us. Or you can, but don't. And wonderful about 7 Llamas is on stats. So, I know you got to see a bit of the last game, Noble Wings. Do you have any feelings on what they need to do for ASDF to win this one?
Firstly, I thought ASDF played really well actually last game. They played their lineup exactly how they wanted to, and it just came down to losing the early game a bit too hard, with the Tiny being able to get free farm and their items coming in too late, in my opinion.
Yeah. But it was surprisingly even, given that ASDF, of course, being the much less known group of players. But yeah. And I think the IO ban-out going to help a lot here. It's something where IO Tiny can play even if they're behind, and when they're ahead, it's terrifying. So, but first pick Gyro. Is this hero still good after the nerfs?
It's still good. I know when we played ASDF in the first game of the new patch, actually, I think we were the first team to play
Yeah,
them.
it was a tiebreaker.
Yeah, they first picked Gyrocopter against us too, and we weren't really wary of it. We thought it was a really bad pick, but the game ended up being a lot more difficult than expected, specifically because of the Gyrocopter. He's still really strong, and he's really good at zoning out offlaners. He's one of the few carries that has potential to just sit in their safe lane, get total free farm, and still kill an offlaner with Rocket Barrage.
Yeah. So, hopefully, gonna be. I love it when these games go to a game 3. So I'm hoping this Gyro does it for them. But the immediate Doom pickup, I know he was buffed. I still haven't actually seen anybody run him solo. I'm seeing him run in the offlane with another hero. Is he actually viable solo with the buff to Scorched Earth, or does he still need a little bit of help?
I've only seen him, at least since I've been playing in the new patch, run as like a dual offlane,
Yeah.
and he can fall back on the jungle, so as more of a 4 position. The issue with him on an offlane is that his armor stat is still really bad. I think he starts with 0 armor
Yeah.
at level 1. And so he's really easily zoned by like any support. If you get a ranged support up in the top lane against Doom, he pretty much can't go to lane. So you force him to jungle.
Yeah,
But
100. Oh, you were gonna say?
yeah, but this also leaves it open, so it makes him a really good 4 position to run in a dual offlane, because you can still pick another offlaner to get EXP while he goes to the jungle to catch up.
Yeah. And this next pickup surprising me a bit. I love AA. AA is my favorite. Like, oh, I'm feeling down on myself. I want some MMR. I pick AA because you can do silly things with the hero. But the only buff he received was an increase in the range on Cold Feet. And I feel like he's interesting here, but they've already picked him up before any indication of a healing strat. So I'm a little bit surprised.
I don't think he's first pick worthy, so I believe that they have some sort of strategy involved with it. It could just be to force out like a Spectre ban, because when you pick AA in the second phase, or first phase I mean, it means that the enemy team has to ban Spectre, or they have to ban maybe Zeus, something that can go global, because it becomes really scary when you have an AA and a Spectre that can kill you from out of nowhere.
Yeah. And ASDF answer with the silencer. I like this. It's hard to get this global silence off while the AA Ice Blast is flying, but I've seen it done before by people. You know, you're in a team fight, you know something's probably coming your way, and that can really, that like completely screws over Ancient Apparition. You're in so much trouble if you can't land the Ice Blast, because you're usually not near a team fight since you're trying to set that up. So, and as you said, they ban out the Spectre.
10 seconds.
Yep.
Worried about that. Is Silencer also, I feel like Doom, okay, how do you counter a Doom? Because it feels like Doom counters everyone, and then you just kind of, like, sometimes he's not as effective because he doesn't seem to carry, but he always has that Doom, and, like, what do you do to play around that?
Against Doom, you just have to make sure you have multiple cores that can do some sort of damage. Because if you draft a single core lineup, like, let's say you, like, go all in on Anti-Mage, and then he gets doomed, your lineup's basically over if you're in late game at that point, because you have no other way to deal with fights. But when you have at least like 3 cores, maybe not 3, but 2 to 3, then if he dooms one, you still have two other cores to fall back on. And Doom in itself is not a very good hero. Like the hero besides Doom doesn't do much of anything. You get Refresher, you get Shivas maybe, but besides that, you can't do anything besides maybe doom one target in a team fight. So as long as you have multiple cores that can do damage and effectively kill people, then Doom isn't that big of an issue.
Okay, so I personally hope this silencer is actually a core silencer, but we don't get to see that as much as the support silencer. And with the Ember Spirit pickup, Silencer can deal with him in mid, but it's very much a skill-based matchup, I feel. Like, if Silencer's out of position at all, Ember just kills you, because you get the Searing Chains off.
Yeah, Ember loses out in CS to a lot of mids, so it's really hard to draft him, in my opinion, for mid. And even though he's a top-tier pick, every mid lane you have, it's going to end up being a loss, so you just have to try to get as much as you can out of the lane, experience-wise, maybe get a kill.
Yeah. And the Disruptor pickup, this seems like just a standard Ember counter. Nothing too fancy. I don't know how much Static Storm is going to do here, just because, like, yeah, Ember Spirit and Doom, both melee, you can probably, if they're attacking someone, but AA is not going to be anywhere near this fight. The others, they're probably going to pick other ranged supports to couple with Doom, just to give him some harass in lane. Although they could go the Spirit Breaker Doom, just kind of, we run at you, because we're strength heroes, harass lane. So...
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely an option. I think Disruptor's really good versus Spirit Breaker, so I don't know if you want to play that tri-lane versus them or dual lane. But the Disruptor pick's really good here for a couple other reasons too. First off, Ember Spirit is really reliant on his ult, and if you can pre-cast ultimate, or your glimpse, I'm sorry, on Ember, and so even if he ultimates back, he gets sent back, and it gives you time to stun, because when you cast Glimpse on him, you have 1.5 seconds to stun him, when normally you need to instantly jump on him and kill him right away.
Yeah. And Earthshaker, he's all around strong. I feel like the nerf... First of all, I didn't feel like he needed to be nerfed necessarily. I think he's just a nice hero that he's really beautiful to see in the hands of someone who's very skilled. But the little bit of damage reduction on Fissure, I thought, certainly seemed like it's a fine thing to do. So... we can see why he's always picked up, and a Night Stalker. Oh, what are these lanes from ASDF? Okay, do you prefer the offlane Night Stalker or the support Night Stalker?
I prefer the support. We haven't really tried him offlane at all. We run him as a 4 position pretty much every game that we pick him, and I think he's a really strong hero. Like, as a 4 position, he becomes ridiculous at 4 minutes. You can gank mid, you can gank offlane, you can do pretty much whatever you want. And there's no hero in the game that can stop you, because you're like a 700 HP strength hero with high armor at level 3, right?
Yeah.
And it means that the supports and the Doom are going to have a hard time finding experience and levels in the jungle past 4 minutes and for the 4 to 8 minute mark.
Yeah, it's also nice because I feel like Ember, right, you have to try to kill this guy before he gets off, before he hits 6 and has remnants to escape. And so having the Night Stalker be able to do that, 4-minute gank just to put him a little bit behind could be helpful. Although mid is always hard to gank.
Along with that, Ember Spirit now is, I think before he could have got away with going maybe BKB, but I think in this game you're kind of forced into going Manta style and maybe a BKB. And on Ember Spirit, you really want to avoid going defensive items. Like, if you can avoid it, you don't want to go any. You want to go straight into Battle Fury or straight into crit, something that can give you damage and transition you into a farming carry to go late game. And when you're forced to go BKB and Mana style so early, it really limits your farm and your potential to go into the late game.
Yeah, I've seen that before, the whole Manta style Ember Spirit who does no damage in the Sleight of Fist. Either way, we're gonna have the Brood ban out. I think this makes a lot of sense. She's a strong offlaner, although a little bit surprising if they ran the Brood as well. That would be jungle. I guess there's room for it. So it seems a bit greedy, but makes sense. Brood can be a real pain, and they do not have anything to deal with it. And the Nyx ban out.
Team pick.
Oh, sorry, wrong side that banned the Brood. I was completely... Yeah, that's what you were laughing about. I was like, wait a second. I'm still surprised by the Brood ban out then, but... No, I guess both sides didn't have anything to deal with it.
I'm surprised by the Brood pick, or the Brood ban also, as Ember Spirit naturally does pretty good against Brood Mother once you get Battle Fury.
But
Or not, I did the wrong sides too, never mind.
No, yeah, I feel like it could have just been a case of they don't think their supports could handle it early game, and they go with a Phantom Lancer. This is actually scary. How did he make it through? And I think
Peel is a really good pick here. Oh, sorry.
yeah. Oh
You
no,
go.
no. I feel like ASDF they banned the Nyx, and I was a bit confused by it because I guess they thought the Earthshaker was offlane, but that still means like what? Were they gonna run a carry Doom? That's not a thing. So, but yeah, I agree with you. If you'd like to speak about the PL, go ahead.
The PL pick's really good here because of a couple of reasons. And first off, a lot of people think that Gyrocopter counters PL, but when you get into the actual game, I find that Gyrocopter actually doesn't do very well versus PL because although you have Flak Cannon up for like 5-6 hits, PL creates illusions so fast that you can kill maybe one wave of illusions, but the next one is already spawned by that point.
Yeah.
So you can't exactly man fight the PL. And PL also splits your Rocket Barrage damage throughout all the illusions, so it doesn't actually do as much as it should versus Phantom Lancer.
Yeah, and it just feels like he can doppelganger away from everything. Like, the cost point increase certainly better for locking him down, but... ugh. And a Jakiro. So this is an offlane Night Stalker, not a support Night Stalker. It might be coupled up with someone, but this is going to be really interesting. I worry. I don't think a Gyro outcarries an Ember Spirit Phantom Lancer.
I think ASDF need to hit their timings perfectly for this game. They need to hit their timing. Normally, I think it's going to be around 20 minutes is when they want to fight. They want to have drums up on Gyro with maybe a BKB. They want their Night Stalker to have just finished Aghanim Scepter, and they want their Silencer to have some sort of item, whether that be Orchid, whether that be Shadow Blade, whether that be Blink Dagger even. He needs to have some sort of farm to be able to do damage.
Yeah, and this is gonna be, I don't know, I'm really worried for ASDF. I do prefer the lineup on Mischief, but either way. We're gonna have our first crash. By the way, Noble Wings, I don't know how much spectating you've been doing, but you will crash once, twice, maybe 4 times, because Reborn has some issues, so, but we'll...
I have...
Oh, you've crashed?
Yeah, I have crashed.
No worries, and we'll get back in. Usually I'm the first one back in after the crash, I say boastfully, but I'm pretty sure that's just because some of the other casters had bad internet.
Guys, I didn't crash.
You will crash, don't worry about 7 llamas, you
I
will.
didn't crash last game.
Oh, that's actually true, yeah, he didn't crash. He's basically a wizard, but that's not important here. We'll be getting right back into this game. Usually there's a pause at the beginning, so we shouldn't have missed too much.
There was no pause.
Oh gosh, there was no pause, and there are rotations into the jungle. I'm gonna crash again, aren't I? But for now, we've just got 5 of them, all rotating. They could certainly kill someone, but it's a hard ask. And actually we have Clairvoyance on the Phantom Lancer. A little bit of a switch up since he was playing mid earlier, but looks like Usher's gonna be in that role. So this 5-man rotation I don't think will catch anything. And yeah, Phantom Lancer just gonna wander off. Some deep sentries placed and some deep wards, but looking like other than that, everything pretty normal. And we're gonna have the normal split of bounties. So, okay, in this mid matchup of, I think it has to be, yeah, it's Silencer versus Ember Spirit. How is this gonna go down?
Okay, I've crashed again.
Oh. Well, it's good. You can still talk about matchups. You don't need to see it.
Yeah, I got in game and I instantly
think Noble got my
crashed.
crash.
Yeah. It's really common. Don't worry about it. It will just carry on. We'll radio Dota if we need to. So.
I'll talk about the mid matchup. I guess it's Ember Spirit versus Silencer, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Ember Spirit has a tough time with that matchup, simply because of the fact that Silencer has enough magic damage to deal with Flame Guard at pretty much every level, and Last Word actually does a ridiculous amount of magic damage when you look at the spell for just a couple skill points. Normally spells don't do that much at level 1.
Yeah, very true. So, not expecting Ember to get a great time, but as we said earlier, one thing out of position and you're gonna have a bad time. And up against Clairvoyance, oh, this is hard. He has the dot, the harass you out of lane lineup, and yeah, they've already started doing a lot of damage to him. They won't have enough time just because of the Liquid Fire cooldown to put more on him, but he's already skilled up Doppelganger level 1. So, ugh. He has an awful lane down there, and Rilk will just keep harassing him, I think.
I'm surprised by this dual off lane they're running. I feel I feel like this Earthshaker is gonna get a lot out of the off lane right now, and I don't think they can shut down this PL's farm enough to warrant it. Although he's not doing very well right now.
Yeah, what I also find to be interesting is it looks like there's a gank coming from Sunbee onto YOLO Swaggeriko. They have the Searing Chains, they do. They're hoping with the bone, they might have it with the Hadoken! And they get it! And that's what we were talking about, one little spot out of position and you get caught. I think that Silencer needed just to back all the way instead of stopping to have a look at Sunbee, but such is life.
Yeah. That was a total misplay on Silencer's part. When you're playing this matchup, you want to stay as far back as possible. So I don't know if you can see the lines, but like, I don't know if you can, but
yeah,
you should stay kind of back around that area, because when you walk forward and you risk getting chained and getting ganked like that, it really shuts down your farm. And Silencer is not a hero you can catch up on. If you're not ahead on Silencer, you're gonna have major issues in the game.
Yeah. Just as a heads up, Noble Wings, you have to put your mic to team open mic so that the people in Dota TV can hear, because otherwise they come to the stream and complain. Either way, look at how liberal Clairvoyance has to be with his doppelganger. I'm a bit worried about this just because I feel like he might be punished for it if he keeps using it so liberally, but he keeps using it and now he doesn't have it. There is the dual breath coming out. He's taking a lot of damage and he's slowed. He does have a lance that he could throw maybe, but if he turns around I think he might just go down. And Nightstalk is still going in. They're good. They killed off Clairvoyance. I feel like his liberal doppelgangering is just making him suffer, so...
Yeah, is my in-game working now?
I have no idea, but the stream will tell us, don't worry.
Okay.
And if it doesn't work, you don't have to worry too much. You're the co-caster. I can just sound like I'm crazy pausing, so...
Doom is smoke ganking mid, or maybe he's going into the...
No, he's smoke ganking again, and Silencer again tried to use that last word, gonna get Searing Chains up. Oh, and I think maybe even SNE might fall here, just because Doom can take such a beating. You need to glimpse someone SNE, but not gonna use it. Would have to turn around and SNE goes down. This Ember Spirit's off to a ridiculous start.
Yeah, he's getting a lot out of this lane that he shouldn't be. Again, it's an issue of Silencer is playing too far up. I think he walked up around here when he got caught, and he should not be there. Like, that area is really open to smoke ganks. If anything, you should stay on the other side of the river around here, so that if they do decide to smoke gank, it becomes a lot more difficult.
Yeah, and it's going to now be really rough, as you said. Silencer trying to play from behind, not a thing. Ember Spirit's almost level 6. Silence is going to get killed by the Ember Spirit solo now with the Remnants up, I think. So, that's pretty scary. On the other hand, at least they're shutting down Clairvoyance, you know? It's something. Oh, it uses the Doppelganger again, but they know which one is you. Oh, they actually don't. They use the Liquid Fire on the wrong Clairvoyance, but it is nighttime and Nightstalker. He is ready to go ham. He is that early level of ham, but at the same time, he's going to have... Oh, he's going to get knocked out by the Chilling Touch. And now this super big dive from Rilk, maybe not going to be worth it. 3 more seconds on that dot, and he can maybe kill off Clairvoyance here. Clairvoyance doesn't have another Doppelganger, so he might know he's going to be A-okay. Oh, that is really bad for ASDF.
Yeah, their lanes are not working out like they wanted to. Originally, their offlane was going really well, but they're trying to put too much aggression on. They think that because they're focusing mid with Doom and with other supports that they can go for the dives. But Peel is such a strong hero for under tower with illusions, with a good slowing nuke, while they're going on mid.
Again, this time they might actually finally be able to kill off Sunbee, so they do manage to get him with Lost Word, with 2 TPs in, but at the same time Gyro died when I was watching that fight bottom, so it looks like Ember Spirit went up there, dropped a Remnant, and blew up the Gyro. So none of, as you pointed out, none of the lanes really going the way they want it for ASDF.
Yeah, Ember Spirit is already topping the net worth chart with 3,000 net worth at 5 minutes, which is ridiculous for a mid hero like that. That shouldn't be winning his lane. Yeah. And Silencer is doing okay. He has around the same farm as Gyrocopter, but again,
oh, he's
this
getting
is a
caught
lineup.
out again. He gets Searing Chains, and actually the Sleight of Fist finishes him off. I don't know what you do about Ush at this point. He is 5-0. And now they're gonna maybe throw out some slow. He doesn't have the Flame God. He does have the Searing Chains, and God Hands can't chase, taking extra damage even because of the Ice Vortex.
Yeah, and this is the issue with the Silencer pick. It's really strong if you can get ahead on the Ember Spirit, but Silencer as a hero, once you fall behind, is really, really poor. And you can see it here, he just gets ganked over and over again, and he can't do anything about it. He has no escape, he is not very tanky at all. and his spells mostly rely on getting levels too.
Yeah, so not maybe going their way. Now, there's still hope, right? They can do a number of things to try and get back in this game. If they use these night times effectively, they might be able to make something happen. I miss another kill up top. The Doom super diving the tower. This Doom, okay, IX Mike taking a tower hit. That was weird. I haven't seen a, like, position 4 Doom do so much work ever.
Oh, he's doing a fantastic job. They might go for a kill on bottom.
Yeah, it looks like everything's gonna finally chill out, but doing a good amount into the Ember Spirit had Flame God, so he soaked all of that out because he's an Ember Spirit. He doesn't care, but yeah. Gonna maybe calm down. Silencer can get a little bit of farm middle, but he has to be very careful. There are 2 remnants up. Oh, here comes one. They're gonna pop in. Is he gonna be able to catch God Hands? Most certainly with that slow. Ice Paul's gonna come out. And it's gonna just delay the inevitable. I worry though, God Hands, he gets caught up by that Searing Chains and he can't TP out. And it felt like, as you mentioned, it was going really well initially down bottom and...
This game is snowballing out of control for ASDF right now, and they need to do something about it. Whether that be smoke gank, whether that be even just try to sit behind someone you think is gonna get dive, they need to change the pace of the game. Because right now, Ember Spirit has total map control against the Night Stalker. The reason you pick Night Stalker is to control the map for the 4 to 8 minute mark, especially. It makes the map really scary. And when their entire team is doing whatever they want, your pick is failing completely.
Yeah.
So I think what they need to do is try to go for like a 3 to 4 man smoke and pick off 2 to 3 heroes in one lane. If you can do that and assert map control with good wards, then maybe you can start farming and still hit your 20-minute timing where you need to be starting to fight and get towers.
Yeah, and they're going for it. They managed to land the Ice Path onto IX Mike. There's going to be the cooldown. At least one of those will hit him. 2 because of the kinetic field. They've got 1 there. Now Sunbay, do they have anything to stop him? Where's the glimpse? They just couldn't find him.
That was a great TP by Doom. The
Yeah.
way he juked there.
Little hidey holes. There are actually a lot of them. I don't know if the map changed or I'm a scrub, but there's like 1 here. There's a bunch in this area. There's like a lot more hidey holes that I've been finding out since I've been casting. And immediate TPs this time as Ush begins to go on Silencer in mid lane. So,
Yeah, the Ember Spirit is gonna get out of control. I don't know what build he's gonna go. Right now he's doing the same build I do, which is going boots into a Gila. And normally after this, I'll get power treads.
we have a Fissure up top on the wrong side of God Hands though, and they're all gonna get out. I think they'll get out. Yeah, does have the movement speed buff, but they're all okay. So you're saying he goes,
He goes into power treads maybe after this. He has 2 choices. He can go into boots of travel or power treads. If they plan to fight, he'll most likely go for power treads. If they plan to try to split the map, farm, and maybe get some pickoffs, he'll save up and go boots of travel. So
Yeah.
we'll see which style they decide to do.
And they've actually smoked up top both Doom and the Earthshaker, and there is just some group jungling going on by ASDF. They're gonna be low on mana though, so if this Doom Earthshaker finds them, it could be death.
Yeah, and they've smoked up, so they might be able to find a mid kill actually as they go for that.
Realistically, we're probably gonna see Silencer fall again. Doom is level 7, Silence is only level 8, and he's going down. Where's the Doom? There it is. Fissure actually on the wrong side, maybe gonna save Silencer's life. It's only a level 1 Doom, and this is actually fantastic. I think that is the best you can hope for, but PL, no, just going for the bounty. So, honestly, I think that is the best they could hope for out of that smoke. Like, for ASDF.
Yeah, that silencer should be dead. It was a misplay by IX Mike to let him live.
So, happens to the best of us, though. I am often fissuring on the wrong side. Let's not talk about that, though. Looking at some quick item pickups, I still don't see anything. PL, he is probably going to go what I think of as the greedy build. He's actually going a Yasha before the bots. I always worry about the bots build on PL just because he's not as tanky, and then, you know, it's easier to kill him off. But I feel like Ember Spirit's going to make more than enough space that he can go super greedy.
Yeah, and the Yasha build mostly lets him jungle a lot quicker. If you go bots, it limits your farm to farming lane. But if you go a damage item or attack speed item early, you can farm the jungle really effectively as Phantom Lancer.
Yeah. So he's gonna have that up, lickety split, and on top, maybe they're thinking about doing something to IX Mike, but he's got Fissure, and still with that tower, it just makes it so hard to rotate up, or to gank without fearing the rotations, so, ugh. And now an Ice Blast coming. There's actually TPs coming in from Ember Spirit. Oh goodness, this Ice Blast is going to hit them all. Ember Spirit's going to get 3 kills here. He's burning them all. The Global Silence is way too late. The cooldown barely tickles them. Disruptor trying to get out, but he's a Disruptor. He might be able to actually walk it off. He's got boots. Not too shabby, but holy cow, that was devastating. I don't think I've seen a level 1 Ice Blast that good in a long time.
Yeah, that was an amazing fight for Team Mischief. And it mostly comes down to Silencer needed to ult right as soon as they saw the AA blast hit. If he had been able to ult there before Ember Spirit got Remnants off, they're maybe able to disengage and go back to farming.
Yeah. We're about to pop into our second nighttime though. Unfortunately, Night Stalker's only level 6, but he still might be able to get some business done. He does have 2 points in Hunter, so...
Mischief are in a great situation though, because right now they win late game, they win early game already, although they maybe shouldn't have, but they did. So they're in a great position. No matter what happens in this game, unless ASDF is able to hit their perfect mid-game timing, they're not able to do much at all.
Yeah, and we have an attempted go on the mid lane, but an Ice Blast and the fact that they're trying to gank up Ush, who is huge, gonna deter them. So, and they glimpse him back to his own tower. I think not quite counting the 4 seconds, it can be rough sometimes. So, Night Stalker, he's trying to use his nighttime bonus abilities, but they can all be seen right now by this sentry, so, not sentry, normal ward, and nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah, and Ember Spirit went for the Boots of Travel build, which I really like for this game. I think he knows exactly what ASDF want to do, which is 5 man off their item timings, and so he says, I'll just get Boots of Travel and I'll start the split push with PL and put pressure around the map.
Yeah, it's feeling a bit like this game is in Mischief's hand. Actually, Doom getting caught a little bit out of position. If he gets silenced up here again, he's gonna go down. He is so tanky, it feels like, though, but he does finally die to the cooldown. And now Ember Spirit just chilling in the front lines. He probably can't defend this tower alone, but IX Mike is coming on that Earthshaker, so this should be more than enough help. And AA is hiding in the wings, ready to throw a blast on all 5 of them if they're sieging this tower. So... actually, Godhand, look, poking his head around, so nobody wants to get hit by this AA blast, and looks like they might actually just back off. Liquid Fire is max level though, so yeah.
And something interesting, yeah, they both placed wards in exactly the same spot at pretty much the same time.
Yeah, it's actually always funny to see that happen because you'd think one team would notice. Actually, Ush just going ham. He gets silenced up though, and he's going to be double silenced. There's the global even, but they don't lock him down. They might be able to kill off Sunbee again. He's being caught up in this kinetic field, but instead he's working on Godhand and an Echo Slam to finish him off. There's the AA blast. Gonna hit. No, gonna just miss the tail feathers of SNE, and now in comes the Ember Spirit. He wants to get some kills here. The Searing Chain stopping the TP. The cooldown gonna do just tickling again, and another really bad team fight for ASDF. They might be able to kill off IX Mike here, but no, it looks like YOLO Swag Rico will go down as well. The Searing Chain's burning, and he takes a remnant to the face. They do manage to catch Ush in the ice path, but he's not taking any damage. It feels like get another Liquid Fire out on him. They do, but I don't think it's going to be enough, and now Jakiro goes down as well, and Ush bottles up.
I think God's Hand might die too. Ember's gonna be able to combo.
Oh. Yeah, it looks like he's going to be able to. He wants to kill Sunbee, but he can't. And Ember Spirit's just going to work on him. God Hands, he's going to run it off. There isn't anything because of he's being silenced, and there is a cooldown on that Searing Chain. There's a glimpse back. Maybe they can get Ice Man, Ice Cream Cone. They do manage to kill off Night Stalker, and now Disruptor's going to go down for killing Ice Cream Cone Man. So yeah, this all around, it's 18-5. It feels like it's getting very out of control with the side of Mischief. They are big and strong. 10,000 net worth lead, so...
And this is the issue with ASDF's draft right now. The draft really focused on hitting your timings around 20 minutes, and when you lose the early game like that, there's not much you can do to catch up besides getting some godly smoke ganks or taking a quick Roshan before the enemy can see it.
Yeah. It's suddenly something where they probably need a huge mistake to come out of Mischief, and given how they've been playing, not looking like it's gonna happen. Ush is now 11-0 on Ember Spirit at 15 minutes in. He's pretty big. I don't know what to say about this. I mean, I haven't seen an Ember Spirit do this well in a long time, so I don't know how you shut that down. Just a level advantage, a farm advantage, silence is level 9.
He's running the Battle Fury build, so it means he will be squishy to silence ganks. If they can get a good gank with Night Stalker when it hits nighttime, silence into Jakiro or something to kill him, like he is able to die because of the build he's going.
Oh gosh, but first he's gonna kill a gyrocopter. There is no help. The global silence again, feeling like it's a bit too late. YOLO Swag Rico, he's gonna pop to the AA blast, but also taking a spirit to the face. They immediately kill up Disruptor, who drops a static storm, but it doesn't seem to do anything. Now, Silence is trying to man fight AA, but AA has that chilling touch, and now finally Jakiro gonna go down on the back lines as well. And PL was, finally even came to that fight, and it was quickly 4 pickoffs. Godhands has popped that ult and is just trying to get the hell out of there.
ASDF are trying to stick to their game plan right now. They wanted a 5-man, and they don't want to play another way. But at this point, I think they're forced to just try to go for pickoffs with Night Stalker and Disruptor and play towards the 40-minute mark, where they can maybe get farm and take a good fight. Because Mischief, when they mess up now, it doesn't affect the game very much. But if Mischief mess up late game and ASDF play perfect, they can still win the game that way. So I think they need to notice that and say, we're not going to win early game or mid game anymore. We're going to just try to take them late game and force them to make mistakes, even if they have the better late game lineup.
So, yeah, it's... Yes, this is true. We have over a 15k net worth lead and so on. But I completely agree with you. It feels like they need to... They're going back for the 5-man again, though, and...
Yeah. I think this is a mistake. They don't have global, but I think they don't want to try to play another way.
There is a blink in by Sunbeam, and the huge Echo Slam with the AA Blast kills 3! And now YOLO Swag Rico is going to go down. Silencer tries to deny him. Will Silencer get the deny? Silencer does get the deny, but that is still a 5-0, and that's her GG. And I'm sorry, Noble Wings, that our first game was so quick, but as you pointed out, the lineup wasn't working, and they didn't seem to find a good way to get around it. So, that's going to be it. Do you have any final thoughts on the game?
I think that shows the weakness of the Night Stalker pick, though.
Yeah.
With Night Stalker, when you win the early game, he becomes a beast, and he can run around the map and make so much space. But when you lose the early game with that sort of lineup and have a Night Stalker, the hero falls off really quickly and becomes super weak throughout the entire game.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, even though this was quick, this was the second game. It does mean that Team Mischief is advancing. ASDF will go to that lower bracket, but they still have an opportunity to get into those top Division 1 spots. I'm Llama Down Under. We've had Noble Wings from Next Level Badasses joining us, and then we had about 7 llamas on stats. Do you have anything you want to shout out or anything?
Me?
Yeah, I don't know. You got some people watching.
Come watch us in JDL. We have a game versus, I think, Isurus pretty soon.
I will try and cast that. I will certainly try to cast that, and yeah, either way, I'm Llama Down Under. I would love to hear your feedback on the casting for you viewers. You can leave that on Twitch or Twitter under Llama Down Under, and we will see you next time. So, casting probably more JDL. So, and again, thank you for joining me, both of you. So, good night.
Always a pleasure.